so we have 3 kids, and Kylie was pregnant with our 4th, and we knew we had a little bit of concerns with Andrew with his heart. We'd been sent to Boise to have a heart specialist look at his heart, and everything looked okay structurally, and they just said, well, sometimes hearts are kind of an oddity, and they clear up after the baby's born, but everything looks good. Fast forward to March of 2020, and I got a phone call from Kylie saying, hey, there's the baby's heart rate's elevated a lot, and they're sending me over to the hospital to have an ultrasound done and to just see where he's at.
They flew me out to Boise, and then Matt packed his stuff, and we got kids situated with grandparents, and he drove over. So I was in Boise till probably 11 o'clock until Matt was able to get over, and they got me settled, and doctors came in, and so they decided to put me on heart meds that would then treat baby's heart and hopefully slow his heart down. Friday morning, and they're doing ultrasounds, and
the medicine
was starting to kick in, and the ultrasound, you could see that his heartbeat was coming down.
Normalizing,
so,
140, 150.
Yeah, 150 beats. So that was, encouraging, and so we were just, hoping that it might, maybe we're gonna have an extended stay at Boise. We're not sure what that looks like with the baby. So we have just been kind of preparing for that, just kind of being in Boise until I was at term. So I was only 29 weeks at this point, so 7 months. I just reached my 7th month, and so Matt had left after we had.
They go buy underwear.
We had met our team of doctors.
Planning for a long stay.
And Matt had left, and I'm just kind of sitting there playing a game on the iPad, and I kind of noticed that his heart rate is going down. So because I can hear it, they have the heart rate monitor on me the whole time, and the nurse comes in. She says, I think I don't really love the sound of his heartbeat, or how slow it is, and then before I know it, all the other teams are coming in. They're moving me. They're trying to get his heart rate. I mean, I barely get a text off to Matt like, you need to come back, like something's wrong. And they just looked at me and said, we're taking you in for a C-section. And
so I get to the hospital. I get to the hospital, and they take me back to the surgery center, and they said, well, the heart rate is down, and so I'm sitting outside these doors waiting for information, and I can see the doctors going back and forth, and watch them work on Andrew, and Kylie's over to the left, and I just got that sense that things weren't going to be good, and I just stood there praying. Pleading with God to do a miracle. And the doctor comes out, and he says, we've been, at this point it'd been about 10 or 15 minutes, and he said, we've been trying to get his heart beat back, but he doesn't have a heartbeat, and he didn't have one when he came out. What do you want us to do? And I asked him to continue, and the whole time they were just nonstop trying to get his heart running. Even when he was talking to me, there was a team there. And then at some point, I just had to say, okay, it's not going to start back up. And they let me in and just held him, and I just held him and Kylie, and while their team wrapped up, dreading how I'm gonna have to tell her when she wakes up that we'd lost him.
Asking, I remember looking up and seeing my nurse's face, the one that had been with me before the C-section, and I can see the look of pity and sadness on her face, but it's not quite clicking why she's, in my brain, it's like, okay, why is she sad? And I remember asking Matt, my first question was, what did we have? Because I didn't know, we didn't know if it was a boy or a girl. And I remember him saying that it was a boy, and I kind of remember like turning and smiling, over here or somewhere, and saying like I knew it, because I had kind of guessed that we were having a boy. And then I think I asked, where is he? And then that's when Matt, had to tell me. I just remember him saying, well, he didn't make it, and they worked on him for 20 minutes. And so then I remember asking, can I see him? Can I hold him? And Matt set him in my arm. A family really only gets 4 hours with their baby. If they choose to not, keep them in their room, they only get 4 hours to say goodbye. And so, it's just, things move fast, and 4 hours goes really quickly. And
at some point, they kind of asked, because everybody's different, and they said, well, do you want to keep Andrew with you, or do you want us, we can, and they're trying to be as delicate, right, as they can be, or do you want us to take him away, and, what do you want? And they said, if you want him to stay, that's fine. We have this cuddle cot that we'll bring in, and he can stay with you, and he can stay overnight, and so we both thought that would be good. And again, we don't know anything, right? We don't know that's normal or not normal, or how common that is. But it was really good.
It was really nice to just be able to hold him and study his features and,
redeem time.
Yeah, redeem time that's already been stolen from us. And now having that, I can't imagine only having the 4 hours.
Yeah.
It just breaks my heart for families that, didn't have that opportunity to say yes or no to something like that. And, I've since met a lot of other moms who have experienced stillbirth, and, a lot of them that I know, actually all of them that I know, have not been able to have a cuddle cot.
And after coming home, we talked about like what, we didn't know if LeGrand had one or didn't, and we know that most people end up getting flown out because just because it's good practice. But then the more we heard stories, the more we knew that there were quite a few people who had infant loss and stillbirth here in our community. That kind of led us down to going, okay, well let's see what we can do to help bring some awareness, but also get this cuddle cot here, so that those people can have that time and redeem, again, time when time's been stolen. So
I wanted to give community members and friends and families opportunities to be able to donate towards that and bless other families, other families that have suffered a stillbirth and haven't been able to use the cuddle cot, but it feels like you're doing something tangible. And so we opened that up we just raised money on a GoFundMe, and I think we met our goal within just a few days, and we've actually exceeded our amount. The community has been so generous and gracious, and our friends and family. It was overwhelming. And very humbling, and we feel very honored that we were able to go and do that for families. So,
and really the hospital was great. We went up and sat down with them to just kind of explain what we wanted to do and see how we could partner, and we didn't know what we were doing or asking.
We just called the foundation.
Yeah.
My sister used to work up there at the hospital, so she was like, this is who you would call. And so we just kind of started the ball rolling with Patrick, and then we met with Jenny Gonzalez and back in December and kind of just shared our story with her, and she showed us some things that our hospital already does for families. And of course they're wanting any wisdom from a family that's experienced it firsthand, on our end, like what can we do to help these families even more than what we are. And so that's been really neat to develop those relationships with the foundation and the OB floor. And when we went up to present the check for that the day before his birthday, will be in a memorial fund under Andrew's name at the foundation, and people can still donate. People are to that fund, and then we're just going to use the extra money in there after the cuddle cot was purchased to provide photography for families. And
everybody's different. There may be people who this doesn't work for, and that's okay. But at least they have an option for those who who may want to, instead of being forced down a path that where they have no options. But we just hope that we can help somebody else and help lessen that grief load and have an impact, and hope that our Andrew's passing can be used in a way to help lessen somebody else's grief.
And to continue his legacy. You know, his life was really short, but you know, it's really impacted us, and so it's just a nice way to honor him and honor other babies too.